So welcome to JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Limitless Creations, and live and with me now, Nick Campbell. How you doing, Nick?
Hi mate, thanks for having me. I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Keeping busy as always.
Nothing else for it.
Yeah. Just got back from training.
I did, just quick sharp session. I'm fighting on the 10th now, so we're kind of tapering down a wee bit. I've not got any weight issues or anything like that, being a heavyweight, so it's just a wee quick sharp session tonight, just keeping everything ticking over. All the hard work's been done, so just making sure I'm loose, nimble and ready to rock on the 10th really, so can't complain.
When did you find out that it was going to be the 10th?
So basically my manager Mark, he's got a really great relationship with Matchroom, and my fight was cancelled. So I was supposed to fight out in Belgium on the 20th. That got cancelled due to board regulations on making your debut abroad and stuff like that. It was out with our control, and then he got in touch with Eddie and Matchroom and said, is there any chance of sticking the big man on one of the shows? And I pulled it out of the bag, to be honest with you. So can't thank him, can't thank Eddie and Matchroom enough for giving me that opportunity. And the fight on the 10th, I mean, like, you couldn't really ask for a better debut. Well, you couldn't get a better debut. It's a fantastic card, a fantastic show. So living the dream, literally.
Literally, mate, and you deserve it. You know, it's one of those where you've been working hard, you've been ready. Eddie's been saying the whole time, if the opportunities come up, I'm going to pick the people who are ready and raring to go. And obviously, you fit the bill, mate. So hats off to you for being ready.
Listen, I like to keep myself fit at all times. I'm always training. I'm always, I'm not one of these people who sit back and go, I'll do nothing for 3 weeks. I always need to go and do something. Obviously, enough of my heavyweight, so I don't have any weight issues. I'm not having to cut loads of weight to get fit. I like to stay at around 18 stone, 115 kilos. And it's just, I was ready to go on the 20th. That didn't quite pan out, but one door closes, another one opens. And, like I say, I really couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, honestly, you've probably got one of the most anticipated cards in a while, because everyone's going to be tuning in for Conor Benn. And to be on that card, everyone's going to be tuning in to watch you now.
That's amazing. I mean, I can actually remember watching Conor Benn's debut on the TV, and I was still playing rugby at the time. Just coming at the end of my rugby, and it's mad to think I would never have imagined all that time ago that I would be making my debut and he was headlining. It's crazy, but I love it. That's why I got into this. That's why I stopped playing rugby 4 years ago, was to pursue my dream, have a go. And I've signed with Mark over in MHD, and he's based in Belfast. Met him over in Jersey when I was playing rugby over there. And it's amazing. Like, the world, it's funny how the world works, and here we are, a couple of weeks out nearly for my debut on the Matchroom card. Amazing.
No, as I say, before we get to the 10th, because we will talk about the 10th, buzzing to see you get out there and all the rest of it. But we're going to go back to the start. Where did it all begin for you? Because obviously it was all rugby. It was all rugby to begin with.
Grown up in Glasgow, I'm a big football supporter. It's one team or the other in Glasgow, but anyway, I grew up loving football and ended up, I wasn't that good at football. So one of the dads at the side of the pitch said, your lad's quite big, why don't you try him at rugby? And they took me down to the local rugby club in Glasgow, Allen Glens, where I live. And it just kind of happened for there. I've always had a passion for boxing. My dad always took me to kind of local amateur boxing clubs and stuff like that to do a bit. And I just kind of, the way it panned out, I love boxing. I've always loved it. I've always had an interest in it. But the rugby was getting quite serious around 14, 15. And I stopped boxing all the time and just fully concentrated on rugby. Went through the pathway systems in Scotland. Ended up playing for Scotland under 18, Scotland under 20. Got my first academy contract off the back of that with Glasgow Warriors, and went on to become a full professional with them. And then in 2013, after I'd been at the Warriors for 4 years, decided to jump over the channel and end up in Jersey. So I played 4 years in the English Championship with them. That's just a tier below the Premiership. Played nearly 100 games for them. I'm still living in Jersey. Obviously, my training camps and stuff from Belfast, but residing in Jersey, and that's how I met my manager, Mark. Went to meet him after, it was coming to the end of my last contract, and I said to him, thinking about boxing, I met him through a mutual friend, and he basically said to me, go and get as much experience as you can. So I went through all the Scottish novice, intermediate, elite, won all that, got in the Scotland squad, done a few trips around the world with them, went to Thailand, Russia, Lithuania, down in Sheffield, sparring my boys down in GB with the Scotland squad. I got explored fast track, really. I mean, I only had 15 amateur fights, so a lot of it was very fresh, very, sink or swim type learning experiences. But, I loved it. I thrived off it. And obviously my professional rugby background and my years of training benefited me. It kind of prepared me for the shock to the system. And then just with everything going on in the world just now, after that first initial chat I had with Mark, he gave me a call and just said, look, what are you thinking? You're not getting any younger. Doesn't look like there's going to be much amateur boxing with everything going on at the moment. So why don't you turn pro and have a go? I can get you on fights, the elite sport banner. You're marketable. There's something different. Ex-rugby. So I just thought, you know what? Life's too short with everything going on just now. I think it's made a lot of people wake up and realise that. And I thought, why not? Let's have a go and see what we can do. It's always been my dream. And I'm living my dream.
Because what, are you 6'7"?
6'7", yeah.
Mate, that's ridiculous. Because I'm 5'7". You could have given me like a little bit.
Well, I mean, I would if I could. Nah, so I mean, listen, that's part of the thing as well. Like, if it was any other weight division, you'd say, nah, you're crazy. Like, you can't do that. But at heavyweight, there's so few heavyweights, although the division's busting at the moment. But in the grand scheme of things, if you compare it to other weight divisions, I think there's only 43 registered pros in the UK at the moment. There's about 300 welterweights. So it's one of the only weights where I think you could do what I'm trying to do and make a dash and break into it. But like I say, I got all the amateur experience like Mark told me to. And I fought at a reasonably high level. I mean, I fought all the best guys in Britain. I fought Delicious Ori, Courtney Bennett. I was down sparring all the boys in GB. And, I held my own and with the limited experience that I have. So for me, the only way is up. As long as I can keep learning and applying myself, stay injury-free. Heavyweights box on to the late 30s anyway. Most of the dominant heavyweights prime time was, from 30 to 40. It wasn't from 20 to 30. So, I'm not too worried. I'm not in a rush. I'm not, going to take it slow. I am 31. I need to get a move on, but there's no real rush. I still think I've got 5, 6, 7, even 8 years if I can look after myself, and hopefully it's all learning, all developing, and see what happens.
I know you're saying you're 31, but you think, you haven't had all that wear and tear as an amateur either. So you're coming into this division quite fresh, 15 amateur fights. You're coming in, as I say, there hasn't been all that sort of battles that you've had to go through. You're coming in as a young, fresh-faced 31-year-old, and that's coming from a guy that's going to be 35 this year. But, that's how it is. Do you know what I mean? You're coming in with the right mindset. You've got that competitive background. Like I was reading up on you, and you were saying, the bits I love was having a bit of a scrap on the field, was being a bit rough, and this is going to suit you down to the ground, mate. 6'7", and you've got the opportunity. You haven't got to cut weight. You haven't got to do anything like that. As long as you don't get too overweight, you're laughing, and you've already got that discipline in place where it's a natural thing for you to stay as a fit big guy. So hats off to you, Nick. I think we've obviously got the Romford ball, You know,
Yeah.
Johnny
Yeah.
in the ranks, and he's got, you know, obviously not. He's got that similar sort of background coming from the rugby side. So
yeah, I think he played university rugby down in
yeah,
Exeter. That, yeah.
So,
I mean, he
so
looks a
he's
purple,
good.
purple man. Yeah, no, there's loads. I mean, Johnny Fisher, you've got. There's so many heavyweights in Britain, especially just now. I think Fabio Wardley just fought the weekend there.
Yeah.
Dylan White, I mean, Dylan's world level. Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, Nathan Gorman fought the weekend there. David Adderley. You know, the division's busting. There's
But you look last weekend, you had Nick Webb, who was going into that fight.
Yeah,
and he was expected to lose. He was expected to be the guy to be another notch on the other guy's thing. And Nick Webb turned up and did the job. So he's now chucked himself back into a bit of a mix. And the heavyweights is always exciting as one punch changes all.
Exactly. I actually I was down in Brighton in August at Scott Welch's gym. Scott Welch's next trainer. I never sparred him or anything like that, but I met Nick, and he's a cracking big fella. And it was, you know, I was tough for him. He put on a hell of a performance. And Pfeiffer was kind of, you know, he was rated. They were expecting him to do the business there, and he dispatched him in 2 rounds, no problem, no sweat. So, no, fair play to the big man. And like you say, it just shows you the heavyweight division. All it takes is one punch, one good performance, and it puts you right up there. Who knows what he's going now? I think they're chatting about, you know, him and Wardley maybe for the English or the British. It's exciting. It's really exciting.
Mate, you're coming in at a good time. Honestly, you're coming in at a good time where boxing, in my opinion, has got the world watching it at the moment. There's a lot of people with their eyes on boxing. You know, the football, there's been issues with COVID and players coming down with it and all sorts of things. And, you know, the rugby, it's been on, but it hasn't been the same. There hasn't been the same flair because the crowds are so, you know, they're lost, aren't they, without the crowds at those sort of events. When you hear that lever hit, the sound, it brings a whole different excitement and atmosphere. And, you know, you're joining at a great time, mate. And what a card. But before we get to that, all I want to say is we're going to go to your rugby once again and say, all I'm going to say is Gerwyn Price.
Hi. I was at Glasgow Warriors. We had an injury crisis at hooker. And Gerwyn was with the Newport Gwent Dragons at the time. And we got him on loan for about 6 months. And he's a really nice fella. You know, he's a bit, when you watch him up on the hockey, he's a bit like in your face, but he's not like that when you meet. He's a real nice guy. Great rugby player, good rugby player as well. But he came down to Glasgow and covered hooker for us. I think I played in a couple of trial games with him, trained with him, you know, cracking fella. And it was about 4 or 5 years later, I turned on the TV and there he was on Sky Sports throwing darts. And I'm like, that was a guy that was So, incredible. Just shows you another guy transitioning from rugby into another sport. It's just something different, something, you know, if he'd told people he was going to be the world champion at darts, they'd have probably laughed at him. So, just goes to show you if you set your mind to it and you're dedicated and you believe in yourself that you can, you know, you can achieve great things. Yeah,
mate, and you've got the Scottish blood on your side, and they're tough bastards anyway.
Well, they built a wall to keep us in, didn't they, the Romans? And then they built a wall to keep us in. So, I mean, that tells you something.
Have you got a nickname yet, Nick?
The Glasgow Warrior. So it's a wee bit of a. I'm from Glasgow, and I used to play for Glasgow Warriors. So the Glasgow Warriors.
It's there, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's there.
Yeah, and I don't mind me using it either. It's paying a bit of homage to them and my roots. So I quite like it. I think it's got a good ring to it. So that's what we're going with, the Glasgow Warrior.
As long as there's no copyright issues, mate, you'll be all right.
It's all right. I know the boy up there. I'll go and give him a couple of slaps and we'll sort it out.
Yeah, it's a bit different now, isn't it? Different game. Around here, a right hook.
No. To be fair, all the boys that I used to play with, so I've had like Richie Gray's a really good mate of mine, Scotland International, British Lions, been getting on to me, Finn Russell, Adam Ash, John Welsh, Alex Ray over in Jersey, Dave Bishop, like loads of different boys that I played with. They're all messaging you, and that's amazing. Just goes to show you people are laughing at you now. Look at this, amazing. So, I've still good mates with a lot of the boys I used to play rugby with, and they're all still, that they seem to be buzzing about what's going on. So that gives you a boost as well, knowing that you've got the lads behind you.
Yeah, of course. Well, and that shows what sort of bloke you were and how much they respect you, that you've moved on and they want to follow your career and, support you along the way. And that speaks credit to you, mate. So, hats off to you, really.
I know rugby's a sport where you kind of gain respect through, training hard and on the pitch. It's a tough physical sport, much like boxing. You gain your opponent's respect after a bout. So, it's good to know that I made a little impression on some of the lads, that they still keep in touch and still support us and still good mates to this day. So,
yeah,
definitely.
We've had a message come in all the way from Ireland. We've had from Enda. He said, "Best of luck on your debut, mate."
Thank you very much, Enda. Appreciate it.
He's a massive rugby fan as well, mate. But he comes on the show and we do a live watch along. So we obviously don't know the fight because we'd be banned. But
yes,
we can't get away with that. But we do a live watch along on here. So we basically guide people through the night, talking about fights and doing the commentary and stuff like that. So we've got yours ready for next Saturday.
Goggle box for boxing,
mate. You've sorted it already. There you go. So, but yeah, it works. And, we'll be cheering for you, mate. Looking forward to it.
I appreciate that a lot. Thanks.
So Nick, tune in for Nick Campbell versus, I think it's Frolich is the way you say it.
I'm not going to attempt to say it, but I believe it's Peter Frolich. Respect to the guy. He's coming over. He's stepping through the ropes. So massive respect to him, and I'm there to do a job at the end of the day. It's my debut. I'm going to lap it up. What an opportunity. And I'm just looking
for 33 fights, I think.
Yeah, listen, he'd be a tough boy. You don't travel, especially just now with all the restrictions and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure he's not travelling over just to. I'm sure he's in there for a fight, so that's brilliant. That's what we want. We're on to put a show, look good, look professional, get the job done, get everybody in Scotland behind us, everybody in Jersey behind us, everybody in wherever. We just want to build a fan base up, get them going. The rugby supporters, people that used to watch me play rugby. I feel as if I bring something different. I'm also here to, prove that it's no gimmick. I'm not just a flash in the pan, like, tick a box, I've done that. I'm here to make a statement and prove a point and mix it up. So bring it on. Do you know what I mean? That's why we're here.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. And you can tell by the way you're talking about it. You're buzzing at the same time, and you're ready. And as I say, you've got our support, mate. And just really looking forward to your debut. No,
I appreciate it, and thanks very much for having me on the show. It's brilliant. I didn't really get this much attention when I was playing.
I'm getting you on after you've won.
Mate, sign me up. I'm on. 100%.
Yeah. And then who knows where the journey takes you? We'll be watching you along the way, as I say.
Exactly.
We're looking forward to it, mate.
Exactly. No, thank you. It's been a pleasure, and I happily come on again, 100%.
As I say, next time I'll let you know it's live, and then you can do your hair.
That's it. I'll go and shave, do my hair, brush my teeth. I'll look good, Dan.
Brush your teeth. Hopefully you did that this morning, mate.
I done it this morning. I'll maybe do it again for you, though. Don't worry.
Oh, mate, that makes it even more special. But no, thanks for coming on, Nick. And tune in. I think it's 6 o'clock, Sky Sports, and DAZN everywhere else to watch Campbell for his debut.
Thank you. Thanks for all the support, and I look forward to putting on a show for everybody on Saturday night. Next
honestly, mate. Thanks for coming on. You take care, Nick.
Thank you. You too, mate.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Nick Campbell, debut this Saturday, Sky Sports. in the UK, DAZN, everywhere else. Tune in. I reckon it's going to be around 6 o'clock. Love Boxing TV. Best of luck, Nick. Great interview, Joe. Oh, thanks. It's all about Nick, mate. I just love having the guests on. Love his story. Obviously, a very good rugby player, and now he's out to prove how good of a good boxer he's going to, turn out to be. So, tune in. As I say, it's going to be around sort of 6 o'clock. I would have thought. Me and Enda are going to be on here doing the live watch along next Saturday, and we'll probably do the whole card. We're looking forward to it. Nick Campbell, what a top bloke. Looking forward to it. So if you like what we do here, go over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, check out all the rest of the content. There's loads of interviews, live watch-alongs, quick predict show. Me and Enda will be on here tomorrow for the Carl Frampton versus Jamel Herring fight in Dubai. We won't be in Dubai, but we'll be watching it live from Dubai. And just tune in. It's going to be great. So thanks for watching. You've been watching JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Richie's Boxing and Limitless Creations. And I'll see you out with this. Thank you.